The thing that really strikes me about this episode is just how disjointed it is. Stuff just kinda happens, with no real regard for the relationship between one event and the next. The pattern seemed familiar to me, but it took me a while to work out why. Then it hit me. This episode is structured exactly like a scenario that I'd play out with my toys at age 10. Megatron kidnaps Ironhide, except I don't have Ironhide, so he kidnaps... I don't use Gears all that much. Gears it is. So he kidnaps Gears, then he makes him his personal slave, and then he tries to make the sun crash into the Earth, and then the Autobots go to Africa. Yeah, Africa to stop him. Yeah, pew pew. And then Gears turns good again and he's all pew. Oh, and Optimus fights Megatron and they're roar. So yeah, if you just pretend this episode was written by some lucky adolescent contest winner, it all kind of makes sense. But this is season 2, where all the episodes have actual titles and the writers aren't ashamed to put their name on their work. Look, Larry Parr, shame isn't always a bad thing. It's what drives us to excel beyond an episode like Changing Gears. And be honest, you built this entire episode around what you thought was a clever title, didn't you? Yeah, it shows. I'm gonna get properly angry with you when we get to Revenge of Bruticus, but that's still quite a long way off. For now, we'll just settle for shame. And the thing is, at its very essence, the concept isn't bad. It could be kind of funny in the right hands. And even in the hands of Larry Parr, it still manages a couple of half-decent lines. The problem is, if you're doing an episode where a curmudgeon-y character has his personality changed and is forced to be nice, it probably wouldn't hurt for the audience to be, familiar with the character. Gears may have complained once or twice in the past, but if you asked me to pick out the complainer of the group, I'd have immediately gone to Huffer. It seems like this episode's purpose was to give Gears something to do. And hey, as a kid who owned a bunch of toys that never got screen time, I'm cool with that. But the entire comedic premise is based around contrast, and there's absolutely nothing to contrast with, apart from one hasty line of establishing dialogue at the beginning. What you should have done is make Starscream loyal, or make Grimlock intelligent and well-spoken. They actually did that one in Season 3, and it's pretty funny as I recall. But I guess if you'd run with either of those ideas, you couldn't have used your brilliant title, Changing Gears. And why on earth would Megatron want the loyalty of one of the smallest and weakest Autobots? We've seen him attempt to recruit both Skyfire and the Dinobots to his cause, and both of those made sense. Those are the big guns there. Has he really fallen so far that he's now attempting to brainwash a mini-spy with no particular personality or special abilities? Were Prowl, Ironhide, Sideswipe, Sunstreaker, Ratchet, Trailbreaker, Mirage, Hound, Wheeljack, and Jazz all unavailable? The only thing that surpasses the idiocy of that plan is the sheer epic idiocy of the big plan, messing with the sun. Megatron, dude, you're standing on the Earth. Do you not comprehend that the sun gives heat, the sun gives light, the sunlight that we see? Maybe you didn't hear that catchy They Might Be Giants song. Or maybe you're just utterly retarded. And while we're on the subject of your likely retardation, at the beginning of the episode, for no apparent reason, you and your guys attack some miners who've struck gold. Did you forget that your primary motivation is energy and not money, or what? I'm at a real loss here. But I can't really blame Megatron. Not really. The real culprit here is Larry goddamn Parr. I think he may be my sworn enemy now. And now it's time for this week's philosophy lesson. Let's see. The Autobots cut down the rainforest to stop the Decepticons who have gone solar. Who's the bad guy here?
I should be very angry at you, Megatron. You are an evil son of a retro rat, but for some reason I just can't get too upset.